Hello and a warm welcome to you on this edition of Business Africa. I am Afolake Oyinloye. The top stories this week. Women scientists still face an uphill struggle in male-dominated science systems and academia in Africa. L'Oreal UNESCO's initiative for African women is closing that gap one bit at a time. Following disappointing years with Monsanto's GM cotton, Burkina Faso hopes to revive its cotton fortune on the global market by going organic. In the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, Nigeria is determined to do things differently by pursuing green, resilient and sustainable development strategies. Gender inequality is still a major issue affecting women that seek to make a difference in their communities. This disparity extends to science, where young women pursuing research and other scientific venture do not enjoy the same treatment as men in their field. L'Oreal UNESCO's program for African women in science hope to bridge this gap by supporting 20 female laureates to pursue their research. Have a look at this story.
Female scientists have a critical role to play in Africa's development, including pushing the envelope on gender equality, one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And yet, more often than not, gender disparities between male and female research scientists are evident in places of work and their levels of responsibility. Sociocultural resistances affect efforts to teach girls science from an early age and boost their representation in major scientific institutions. For 11 years now, the L'Oreal UNESCO's program for women in science has been rewarding 20 laureates from the sub-Saharan Africa region. This promotion of young talent is made up of 15 doctoral and 5 postdoctoral students in scientific fields who benefit from endowments to help them pursue their research. They come from 16 countries within sub-Saharan Africa. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has amplified the prejudice that young women in science face. Most of the 20 young women work in the medical and biological fields, exploring new scientific territories in line with the needs of the continent. Women remain underrepresented in African science. The organization said only 17% of the African Academy of Sciences 350 fellows are women.
On this edition of Business Africa, we have 2 nominees of the L'Oreal UNESCO Women in Science Award joining us on set. Our first guest is Nema Nduma, PhD student in computer engineering. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Now, my first question has to do with what are the factors that contribute to women underrepresentation in science in sub-Saharan Africa, using Tanzania or East Africa as a case study?
While continue to fight for the issue of equality, women are still struggling to penetrate in science-related careers. And the overall number of women in science is still low compared to their male counterparts due to several reasons. First, the issue of gender bias, because it is believed that women will not excel well in science. The second, in most cases, women are required to either balance or choose between family, social life, and work, particularly science careers. And third, there is issue of low self-confidence due to communities' perceptions toward women in science, which creates fear and discourage many women to pursue science.
So what actions have specifically been taken to help women in this field?
This leads to gender imbalance in science. So to rectify this, the government of Tanzania started special program that encourage and create opportunities for girls to pursue science from primary to university level by offering free primary and secondary education in order to increase number of female enrollment. Also, student loans for higher education have been prioritized to favor female students who are studying science, and scholarship for female students who are pursuing science have been increased.
Well, thank you very much, Nema, for joining us on this show. Now we'll move on to Congolese Nadej Tati, also a PhD student studying Earth and Environmental Sciences. She joins us from Comoros. Welcome to the show. Now, what difference will you make to have more women occupying key positions in research and academic institutions in the DRC or in Central Africa as a whole?
D'après plusieurs études réalisées par plusieurs auteurs,
according to studies carried out by several authors, they have been able to show that in companies where women are in key positions of responsibility, results are often improved.
Je mets l'hypothèse selon laquelle si
Several women in positions and in research and academic institutions in Africa in general and in the DRC, for example, have proven that they are capable.
Cela devrait premièrement permettre d'améliorer les résultats et deuxièmement,
and secondly, girls and young women will have role models in science.
What role have institutions such as UNESCO and other institutions keen at empowering women played in the fight against COVID-19?
It is certainly early to review the management of the COVID-19 crisis because we are learning every day. Every day there are new data.
C'est chaque jour qu'il y a des nouvelles données. D'après une étude britannique publiée,
according to a British study published last July, the study analyzed the management of the COVID-19 health crisis in 193 countries, of which there are only 19 countries, or 10%, where COVID-19 health crisis management was led by women. But then the results are impressive in these countries where crisis management was carried out by women. The results are systematically and significantly better.
Well, thank you very much for those insights, Nadej.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. Now, Burkina Faso, formerly one of the world's biggest cotton producer, is hoping to reclaim its glory by focusing on organic cotton. The West African country recently terminated a contract with Monsanto's GM Cotton, a move that has been welcomed by farmers and players in the country's budding textile industry. Here is more to that story.
Francois Yamiogo has been advocating ethical and socially responsible fashion since the creation of his brand, Francois the First. Since 2017, the designer has been producing his own organic cotton